third problem, girls. The equity share of a company has a current value of rupees 80. It is expected that the company will pay rupees 4 dividend per share at the end of year 1, and the share can be sold at 88 rupees at the end of year 1. You need to compute required rate of return, or KE. RE or KE is what you need to compute. First, try to find out which model is this, whether it is 2 period, 1 period, or multi period. As you can see, it is clearly mentioned it is sold at the end of year 1. It means that this problem is based on single period valuation model, where your P0, the value of equity today, is 80 rupees. Your D1, expected dividend at the end of year 1, is 4. And then the share can be sold at 88 rupees. P1 is 88. You need to compute your cost of equity. Here you are seeing the formula which is taken. You might think, ma'am, from where all of a sudden this formula came. See here. This is your single period valuation model formula. P0 equals D1 divided by 1 plus KE plus P1 divided by 1 plus KE. We are bringing down to the denominator PO, and KE is taken to the LHS. You can ask me, ma'am, all of a sudden where 1 plus KE became KE, how is that possible? Where did you send 1? It is not like that. The logic goes like this. D1 divided by 1 plus KE means we are discounting dividend. From D1, we want to find out P0 here. Futures value is brought down to present's worth by dividing 1 plus KE. But here we are not discounting. We need to find out the KE. Therefore, 1 plus KE, what we use for discounting, is not required here. So therefore, KE is directly taken and P0 comes to the denominator. As you can see here, where the problem specifies that dividend at the end of year 1 is 4 and P0 will be 80. Then this P1, whatever you have, 88 rupees, which is mentioned in the problem, minus 80, nothing but today if you are purchasing at 80 rupees, at the end of year 1 it is 88 rupees divided by 80. So therefore the return what you are generating at the end of year 1 is 8 rupees. So 4 divided by 80 rupees is 0.05 plus 88 minus 80 divided by 80 will be 10%, 0.10. Therefore, it is 0.15 or 15% is the return on equity or cost of equity. This is how it is computed. I hope you have followed it very clearly now. The same single period valuation is used, and here the capital appreciation. Here dividend income is taken into account, and here it is the capital appreciation. So dividend income they are getting 5%, capital appreciation is 10%. So return on equity will be totally 15%. This is based on single period valuation. If your required rate of return is 12%, would you purchase this share? See, the share is able to generate returns of 15%. Your required rate of return is only 12%. So 15% is greater than 12%. Therefore, definitely you would consider to purchase this share. This is worth for investment. Now look at the next problem. Given that P0 is 60, D1 is 4.80, growth rate of dividend is 6% for indefinite period. What is KE? Again here, girls, there are few miscellaneous problems where one variable will be given. You need to substitute that to the formula and find out the another one. Here as you can see, growth rate is given, price of the share is given, D1 is given, again KE is what you need to calculate. Substitute these values in the formula, take this to LHS, solve it, KE will be 14%. I don't think solving this will be a problem to you, you can do it. There is also another problem of this kind which you can do. And the last problem which you have is S Limited provides the following particulars. D1 to D5 is 8 rupees. D6 to D10 is 10 rupees per annum. If company plans to buy a share and hold it for 10 years, what is the present value? If cost of equity is 10% and expected price of a share at the end of 10th year is 300. Now girls, here what they are telling is, see, it goes like this. Today you are purchasing, you are holding it for 10 years, where the timeline is 10 years you have. In 10 years company is declaring dividend, but it is not same amount, nor it is that every year the amount is varying. Instead there are two slabs given to you, where till 5th year D1 to D5, 1 to 5th year, till 5th year it is paying rupees 8. Later, from 6th year to 10th year, another 5 years, it is declaring dividends of rupees 10. Later it is changing. Now keeping this in mind, you need to compute the present worth. As you all know, D1 to D5 is 8 rupees, where now please remember, for all 5 years you are receiving the same amount, therefore it will be present value annuity factor. It is not PVF, present value factor. Instead, as for 5 years it is the same, it is present value annuity factor at 10%. For 5 years you need to find out. So which will be 8 into 1 divided by 1.10, which is 0.909 plus 0.826 plus 0.751, 0.683, 0.621. Now add up all this. Point 0.909 plus 0.826 plus 0.751 plus 0.683 plus 0.621, which is equal to 3.79. 8 into 3.719 will be 30.32. Whereas later D6 to D10, they are receiving dividend of 10 rupees. Initially it is 8 rupees for the first half, for the second half it is 10 rupees. 10 rupees into, again after 5 years, please remember, don't take from D1, 1 divided by 1.10 when you do. First 5 years is already taken. So for the 5th year it is 0.621. Here it is D6 and the sixth year in the start agate. So stop till there. From D6 you need to take 0.621. Later how much is it? It is 0.564. Don't take from the beginning. Take after fifth year. In continuation of the previous calculation you need to do this. Then seventh year 0.513, 8th year 0.466, 9th year 0.424, and finally last year 0.385. For the 10th year it is 0.385. Now you need to add up all these values. 10 into, when you add up all the values which is given to you, it will become 2.354, which is equal to 23.54. Now girls, you have got your values, present values for D1 to D5, D6 to D10. When are you selling it? At the end of 10th year. Therefore, P0 will be, what is the price at which you are selling it? You are selling it at the worth of rupees 300. As mentioned in the problem, it is 300. See here, it is given to you like this. Expected share price at the end of 10th year is rupees 300. So 300 into, for the 10th year, what is the discount factor? 0.385. Multiply with that 0.385. Find out the value. Which is 115.5. Now you find out the present worth of all this, where present worth will be 115.5 plus 23.54 plus 30.32, which will be 169.36. I hope you have followed this problem. In the next video, I am starting with the last portion of CFP, which is valuation of intangible assets. I hope you have followed till here. Thank you.